Anything go on?
No, we're good. Howdy y'all, got the Bulldog on the channel. Working on this old square body Chevy. We're trying to prove the motor out on it. We did a compression test, it's good. But it has always had some lope to it, and we're really concerned with the cam lobes. You know, are they good? It does not have a pop back when it's warm under power, so that tells us it doesn't have an exhaust lobe off. But that does not tell us it doesn't have an intake lobe off. It is in very bad shape as far as leaks. The intake manifold, or the valve covers, are leaking like a sieve. So we're going to do that. The valve covers leaking oil have soaked up the wires. The wires are shot. So we're going to do that, and we're going to put a set of plugs in it. Well, the exhaust is shot, rusted, clear out. And the guy's just wanting to go back to manifolds. It's got headers on it right now. They're older than my kids. They're rusted out. But this is all money you don't want to put into an engine with a bad cam. So what we're going to do is I took his old plugs. They don't have any miles on them. And I hit them with the sandblaster. Cleaned them up. They're not worn out. These are cheap plugs. They're you know, $2 a piece. So we're going to have new ones in it. But I decided, well, since we have a question mark on the motor, we're going to just hit his old plugs with the sandblaster, clean them up, put the new wires on it, run the engine, make sure it's hitting on all 8 as far as running. Now, there's other ways to test for a lobe off, running compression test. You take the valve out of your compression tester and run the engine with that deal hooked up, and you watch the gauge, how it bounces, where it goes to get kind of a running deal, and you do all the cylinders and compare them. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So we're just going to put it together with a set of new wires, clean plugs, make sure it's running on all 8. Then after that, we prove the motor out, make sure it's you know, got an even idle on it. The carburetor has got problems. Power valve is blown on it, we're almost sure. I was talking to the customer, you know, about the pop back. We know it doesn't have an exhaust lobe off because it's not popping back up through the carburetor. Well, it does that every once in a while. Like when? Well, when you first start it up and you get out and stomp on it, it's popping back. Well, that's lean because it's cold natured. So he said it does it till it warms up. Well, yeah, that's a lean condition, so that's normal actually. But like I said, cheap. I got to pull these plugs back out. If we do exhaust on it, we have to rebuild the carburetor, we know. This is just something that I don't want to unbox new parts for testing purposes. So we're doing this. And this is how I do it. Of course, you heard the vacuum running. That's our dust collector. Sandblast cabinet. You clean them up real good. I mean, you can do it with a wire wheel, but I hate doing that to plugs. You know, you hit it with the sandblaster. I've got it plumbed into air, so you don't have to chuck it up. It's got its light in it. And now I got to blow these plugs all off because you definitely don't want to throw them back in there with sand on the threads or in the electrode. So I'll do that. Throw the new wires on it, fire it up, make sure it's running. Then we'll go from there. We got to rebuild that carburetor. It has been, I look back in our records and it was handwritten records the last time we rebuilt it. So like 04, 05. So it's been back there whenever it was last done. Just, he's decided that he's gonna keep the truck as a driver and spend a little bit of money on it because he does have a toy. We worked on it when he first got it, and he got it out of the paint shop here last week. But he'd rather have one that's just a driver too. So we're gonna give this one some TLC and get it back on the road for him after we get the go all fixed. He wants to fix the Flintstones floorboards, so we might help him with that. I don't know. He's got a body shop, but that stuff's expensive. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. Talk to you later.